little long. So I'm going to head and break here and then go to recommended free managers. And then we're going to talk about formations, which is probably what you're most interested in. So we're going to break there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to hit on is the free managers. So same topic here. We're going to go straight into sponsors first, then trainers, then scouters to keep it simple and a little more organized. For sponsors, the worthwhile sponsors, in my opinion, are Raguel because of her GP active, great for overnight. You have Periel, who is perfect for farming. She'll give you a chance of additional spirit stones or players whenever you win, which is pretty nice. It just stacks with clover, so these are separate drops, making it from you getting one drop to possibly three. Varez is a must-have. He decreases manager skill cooldowns by 20%. Perfect for overnight. Perfect for a farming formation also. It's really good. His active, however, leaves a little to be desired, but we mainly got him for that cooldown passive, which is unique to him and Santa Selena. So he's in good company when it comes to that. Mabaroshi is also a must have, in my opinion. Her active is more for the overnight type, but we don't care about that. What we are interested in is her passive, which increases the chances of teamwork appearing when you complete missions. I'm pretty sure many of the more experienced players out there can tell you that it is a pain in the rear end getting teamwork done, especially when you have a goalkeeper. You want that HP teamwork, and you just keep getting that pass effect. So this is handy just for the sake of getting those. It's worth it. Get her. From there, we have Shesta. Shesta, in my opinion, is also worth it. She decreases the training cost. This is going to matter a lot when it comes for you training players with swirlies, leveling them up with penguins, etc. This is imperative to have when you're leveling up characters who are using swirlies. So please, please, please pick her up. She is definitely worth it because there are other managers that also have the same effect. So it's all going to add up. Training your players with swirlies, etc. is expensive. You generally want to do that when the characters are at level 1, like when you just finished getting them or when you just finish, doing special training. And that plus Shesta and the rest of the cost reduction managers are going to make a huge difference for you. Charlotte is a must have because if you don't have the 40% from Halloween Eve, then your next best bet is Charlotte, who's 20%, and Lohengrin, who is 10%. Also, I made a small error now that I think about it. I did not mention Korean Selena earlier. Korean Selena is also a good option for paid because she gives you both more gold when you win and also a bonus drop chance. So, whoops, made a mistake there. For selling, you have Maya. Excuse me, that's Mauve. This is Mauve. Mauve increases the selling price for characters and spirit stones. And then her 3-star counterpart is Maya, whose hers is 20%. As you've noticed, unlike Wedding Eve, they do not affect GP, but it's still worth it, especially when you have those saved up Extreme Evolved Neris for that big wad of cash. Obviously, my Maya isn't in use anymore because I have Wedding Eve. And then another one of the must have options, we have Irene. Irene is your go-to when it comes to spirit stones. She lowers the spirit stone cost when you're powering them up, when you're combining, when you're crafting. She is a must-have at all cost. You find her, you drop what you're doing, you get her. You need her immediately. Yes, her passive stacks with the event, with the spirit stone events. So please grab her. And last but certainly not least, since we've covered everybody, you've noticed every single manager I have here in the sponsor option, in my opinion, you want to get. Last but not least, you need to get Lucy. Lucy is unique. She is the only sponsor in the game who gives you a stat boost. No other manager in the game that is a sponsor, be it paid or free, does that. So you find her, you need to grab Lucy. Period. Right? Period. No other way around it. Going on from there, we have. Well, no, that's it. Actually, excuse me. That's actually all of them. That's all the sponsors. Next for the trainers, you should be starting the game off with either Eve or Selena. I believe they gave it to us free with the major update if you didn't have them. So hopefully you have them. You definitely want her. She is a must have. You need to get her. You need to get her to Extreme Evolution. You also need to do the same thing with her counterpart, Selena. They both do the same thing. Nobody cares about their passive. You're not going to use them for their passive. What you want them for is for their active. Their active, when you extreme evolve them, is 30 stamina, 15 GP. Get them, extreme evolve them. You're going to have them every single time on your overnight formation. They're great. They're easily the best. Everybody else is inferior to them. From here, we have the various other Selenas and Eves, but they're all paid, except for the anniversary ones. But I'm pretty sure these are now unobtainable at this point. But they're obsolete to original Eve and original Selena, so it doesn't matter. One of the managers here, I actually don't have him yet. I haven't scouted him yet because I'm crazy, but I'm going to mention him now. He is going to go together with Lucy when it comes to PvP, and that is Gerald. Gerald is the only free to play manager whose stats, whose stat boost gets to 30. Okay, in the trainer slot, excuse me. The only other ones that do that are the paid for Selena and Eves that boost stats. So his is power and speed up to 30. So if you are a free to play player, you need to pick up Gerald. Period. Going back over here to the slot, the ones that are also worth it are Anastella for decreasing stamina consumption. You want Hassel, who does the same thing. Euphemia for training experience up. You want Claire for max BP. Sylvia, who also raises max BP. You want Anne for increased training experience. You want Mitch, who just recently became scoutable to decrease the evolution cost. Nope, we don't need Ewan. And we have one more that is not here because she just recently became available for scouting, but I'm going to touch on her in a bit. There's two more that I have here that we need to cover, and that is your other free-to-play options for stat boosting. That is Samiel, which is speed and stamina at maxed out at 20, or Clover, who also maxes out at 20, but she increases power and technique. So you're going to have Lucy, you're going to have Gerald, and then your choice between Samiel or Clover. Okay? Whoever you have maxed out the most. There are other stat boost managers in the game, but they are irrelevant. The reason being is, for example, Crowl, he only increases one stat. The only exception to this, which is good for going with early, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of flack for saying this, is going to be Shireen because you're going to get her pretty much a million times. So you may as well use her in the meantime until you get somebody else. And you can also get away with Mumu because Mumu is a 3-star, but she also does boost 2 stats. So that's not bad, but eventually you'll replace them. So you'll probably start off with Charmaine and Mumu. Then you're gonna move on. You know, from there you're gonna want to move on to Clover and or Samuel, and then the instant you get Gerald, you need to grab him too. That covers the trainer portion. Now we got scouts. When it comes to scouts, I did forget one more paid option. So we're going to touch on that too. Man, I probably should have just gone one of those three, shouldn't I? Oh well. We have Pajama Eve. She increases the amount of core points. Either way, don't worry. Once I get to formations, we're going to cover them anyway. I just simply want to give certain players their due. When it comes to free options, Tatari's okay, but I don't really care for it. You want to get Sigmund. Sigmund is a must-have. He increases your level cap, or excuse me, your stamina max by 20. So this is a big deal. Okay, because your maximum stamina is 60. With him there, it becomes 80. All right, it becomes 80. So that means whenever you refresh, you're getting 80 stamina. That means every 3 crystal refreshes, you're getting a stack of stamina for free. That's a big deal. This is huge for farming. This is huge for superb bosses. Like this right here, if you can't do a superb boss, if you have to innervate a lot, this guy's going to save you a crap load of crystals. He's a must have. His active isn't half bad either because he copies a sponsor, so that's not bad either because you can get yourself a nice chunk of cash while you're at it. He pays for himself. From there, we have Bale. She's really good. I don't really care for the event point increase because I farm that stuff like a maniac anyway, but it's that extra increase to EXP that's really good. Aaron decreases BP consumption. He's a must-have. His active has a gross cooldown, so we don't care about that. Besides, he's only going to give you 2 to 3 star players at best anyway. Next, we have next we have Ingram. Ingram is another must-have. Ingram decreases stamina consumption by 20%. He also copies the active skill of the main trainer. This is great because whenever his cooldown is up, you want to swap in a trainer for original Eve or original Selena and get that free stamina and GP. Can't go wrong with it. Must have. And then you can also pick up Marineko. Marineko increases the chance of gatekeepers appearing as scout. Her active is not as good as it used to be, but if you happen to have Pajama Eve, it works out because you can get 2 Spirit Stones. So that covers all of the worthwhile scouters, in my opinion. So now we're going to go on to the last portion of this, and that's going to be formations. And now that I think about it, once I'm done